Hi everyone, it's Mandela here again. Thank you so much for showing interest in our first video on how to accumulate wealth using property investment. We want to build on these principles by sharing more principles and more ways in which you can use your property investment so as to ensure that you prepare for the future, mostly financially, so that you can retire comfortable if you actually plan to retire and then realize the value or the capital that will come from your properties, or you might even get to continue renting out your properties when you have retired, and most of them would be paid up most likely, but they will still assist you in terms of ensuring that you have security also in order for you to have something to hand over to the next generation. So today we just want to touch on how do you look at the property investment cash injection from the bank in order for you to manage your cash flow. I know it's December right now, and I know most of us then, we are trying to find ways in which we can expand the resources. Some of us do get bonuses in December, some of us don't. And then we easily go for debt in order for us to ensure that we can cover things we don't normally cover during the course of the year. And we get into that debt having not planned accordingly. When I'm saying we don't plan accordingly, the excitement of the time gets to us. I'm sure most of us are going to be already saying, "Key December, boss," and that already means that people will be buying things they can't afford to either impress others, or they will be buying things so as to entertain people. But I just want you, as a responsible person, to think before you do anything this December. This December doesn't have to be the same as the December before. Neither does it have to be what other people expect it to be. It must be exactly what you have planned for it to be, by making sure that you have planned your finances accordingly. What do I mean by that? I know that there are people at this particular point in time that are thinking of consolidating their debt. And I know this is the biggest temptation during this time. It's mostly for our people, because what the banks do, they come up with adverts that say you will only have one debit order, then it'll consolidate all your debts. You won't have too many debit orders, and we get excited over that idea. But we don't know the long-term effect, because we think of the short-term effect. Yes, the short-term effect might promise decreases in terms of our monthly repayments of our outstanding debts, which are not property related at this particular point in time. I'm talking about your general debts, because most of the people that consolidate, they have consumer debt that they're trying to deal with, and they are actually having issues with the multiple debit orders that go off. And sometimes they might be too steep in debt such that they can't afford. Therefore, they consider consolidation. I want to speak towards that. Let me also put this disclaimer. I am not your financial advisor. I am not accredited by the FASB. So do take this as an educational video, not as a financial advice video. Why would I not advise us to take consolidation? There are a few things, and some of them are obvious. The initial costs, they actually add up to the debt that you already have. Also, the biggest part is the interest on interest that you get to incur, which then exacerbate the debt that you owe. Though it will be one debit order, but you get to pay either longer, and you pay higher interest on that amount. How can you, if you have a bond that already exists, how can you make use of that facility in order for you to achieve similar results as when you consolidate your debt? You can go to the bank and consult the bank in this manner. You ask them to re-evaluate or to value your property currently. It would be nice if you already have been paying off your property over a number of years, because that means your asset value would have accumulated. We have always been taught that we can only realize or recognize our value in our properties by selling them. And that is not the case. It does not always have to be the case. It's mostly if you want to have multiple properties under your belt. You can go to the bank and consult with the bank to say to them, I want you to value my house to see how much is it worth currently. You check how much debt you owe the bank. There's normally a difference there. You can then ask the bank to refinance your property. When you refinance your property, the bank gives you cash that can be equivalent or close to the current value of your property. Because when you bought your property, let's just say you bought your property 5 years ago and it was 500,000 rands, it was worth 500,000 rands. You bought it for 500,000 rands, you paid it for the past 5 years. And let's just say at this particular point in time, you owe the bank 450,000 rands. But the value of your property would have grown over the 5 years. Let's just say now it's 600,000 rands. Now there is equity there of 150,000 rands that is due to you. You owe the bank 450, your property is worth 600,000. The difference between the debt and the value of the asset is 150,000. You can then ask the bank to give you cash the 150,000 rands, because remember, your bond is a secured loan because it is released or given to you against the value of the asset that you are owning. So you can then get that 150,000 rands. One, you can pay off part of your vehicle finance. If you have any outstanding debt with regards to your car, that actually reduces the number of debit orders that goes off your monthly deductions. That means now the money for the car is taken care of. You can pay off your furniture, which you might have bought on credit. That also reduces the number of debit orders that you get to pay on a month-to-month basis. You can then also take some of that to just take care of the family so that you make sure that you have a great December holiday. This will help you whilst you are reducing all the debts that you owe. And by the way, remember, your bond is the cheapest debt you can have. So instead of consolidating and paying interest upon interest, you can go to the bank and refinance. You are safe, first of all. Secondly, you have a low interest rate that you are paying in return. Over and above that, you're reducing the number of debit orders that you have to pay on a monthly basis, and your life will definitely improve. You'll be a happier person, and I promise you, you will be happier to start your January still having a positive balance in your bank account. I hope this will help you to have good spending habits in December. And we're going to do a few more videos just for this month before we all blow it over Christmas and New Year. We want you to get into January a different person. Hope you have a great one. Mandilake here. Thank you.